Yes, dear students, I am Dr. Gopal Krishna Gaonkar, Associate Professor and HOD, Department of Economics, Government Pressure College, Thankanudi, UDP. Today, we are to discuss one of the very important topic, that is international debt crisis. Most of the time, any country for that matters, without debt, not possible to develop. But the debt sometimes becomes a very big amount of difficulty, big problem for a number of countries. Of course, it starts from the individual to the country. So here also we'll discuss how this particular international debt crisis that occurred and what is the solutions for that, and how we can come, how you could able to come out of these particular positions, everything today. So, as the introduction part, the problem of external debt of LDC is a serious one because they depend heavily on inflows of capital from abroad to finance their development needs. LDCs being four countries, their rates of domestic savings and investment are low. They woefully lack in economic and social overhead capital and basic and key industries. To accelerate the rate of economic development, they borrow to import capital goods components, raw materials, technical know-how, etc. Besides, they also borrow to finance consumer goods to meet the requirement of the growing population. I already said, whenever you are going for any type of development activities, as you know, the economy of the world today are called as welfare economies. So they have to go for different types of development activities. Whenever we have to carry the development activities, definitely we need financial help. So most of the developing countries, they have the problem of a shortage of finance. So they are definitely borrowing from the advanced countries or wherever it is available. So here, that is what the problems after that will become the problems after that, because they can't able to repay the loan in time. Mainly they are borrowing for raw materials, technical know-how, etc. This is the common feature that we can find in the developing countries. This leads to huge current account BOP deposits. That is what in the international trade, automatically they are going to witness, or they face current account BOP deposit. To finance its BOP deposit, the LDC borrows by selling bonds abroad, their bonds abroad, from commercial banks abroad, from international financial institutions like IMF, World Bank, IFC, etc., and from private foreign firms. This is the outcome, and that will lead to the debt crisis. Of course, debt crisis reached to some crisis. Of course, there was some, I say the word is used, crisis. Problems are always there, but it will not lead to the crisis. But here, the debt has become the crisis now. The oil shocks of 1970s and the reactions of the developed countries to them will lead to a major debt crisis in LDCs. To repay these debt in the form of interest and capital caused serious problems in the economies. The problem had become very severe by the early 1980s, which led to increase the debt service payment for $18 billion in 1973 to $140 billion in 1990. Consequently, many LDCs found it difficult to service their debts, and it was fear they would default on payment, thereby leading to an international crisis. So what happened is, in 1970 there was oil problems in the sense petroleum problems, and majority countries depending upon the petrol. Of course, there is no other way, and in such case there was a problem, and the debt was severe. The problem of debt was severe in 1970s. In 1973 it was only $18 billion, and of course it reached to $140 billion in 1990. Remember that, how the big turnaround that happened here in these conditions. So LDCs had to face a lot of this debt crisis. Then they couldn't able to pay, even repay the interest. They leave the debt what they borrowed from foreign countries, but it was very difficult them to repay the interest. So what are the main causes for the debt crisis then? Particularly 1970 to 80 or somewhere else to 890, because before globalizations, because WTO, it reached almost up to the peak. So there was that causes. What are the reasons for that? I will go one by one. So one is the oil price. It is already, I said, in 1970s. The first oil shock in the international economy was the increase in oil prices by more than fourfold, and a second doubled them. This caused a large increase in the import bills of non-oil producing LDCs. Simultaneously, their export earnings fell due to the recession in the developed countries. On one hand, the export has been decreased because the developed countries they experienced recession. On the other end, oil price, of course, so it has become necessary for most of the developed countries for the development. So oil price increases like anything. It was in the first phase fourfold, second is the second double, it was like that. And second one, bad macroeconomic management. To cope up with the problems, BOP deposed. The LDCs began macroeconomic management of their economies. They continued to expand their expenditure to meet demand for their economic development. This led them to adopt expansionary fiscal and monetary measures and to large borrowing from abroad. This resulted in inflation and external debts. Remember that whenever you are going for a lot of expenditure, of course, for the sake of whole economy, what happens is whatever the expense that you are going to make will add to the total money supply. So automatically their supply of money is increased, and monetary measures are also supported to this because they borrowed from abroad. So this resulted internal as well as external hike in the price. So there is inflationary condition. So what does it mean? There is bad macroeconomic management. Next one, policies of developed countries and their banks. The policies adopted by the developed countries and banks were instrumental in creating the debt crisis. Of course, every time developed countries are playing their interest, they would like to protect their interest. In such case, these things always happens. The rise in oil prices had increased the revenues of oil exporting countries, but they are unable to absorb them within their economies. They deposited large volumes of petrodollars in the commercial banks of the developed countries. Thus, these banks had accumulated huge funds which could not be used by developed countries, as they later were faced with the recessions. Remember, there should be a circular flow of incomes, and whatever the income they absorbed by oil prices countries, they couldn't able to absorb it themselves. What they did it, they sent these petrodollars to the developed countries' commercial banks. What happened? The developed countries' commercial banks should give chance for the circulations of money, but they did not do it. They just fooled it, and that led to the shortage of circulation of money and the recession in the developed countries. And next one, rising interest rate. The increase in the interest rates also added to the debt crisis. During the first oil price hike, the real interest rates were low and even negative in the developed countries due to inflation. This reduced the real burden of the debt of LDCs. The rise in oil price led to inflation in the developed countries which adopted restrictive monetary policy to control inflation. Developed countries, they started to introduce some restrictive policies. Of course, that led to the different type of conditions. Of course, their intention is to reduce the inflation in their country. Consequently, the cost of serving the past debts and of new debts increases for LDCs. Remember that whenever the inflation conditions, then repayment will become very, very tough to the developing countries, because there will be two-edged sword, because they have to pay for the past debts and new debts they have to go for. So in these conditions, their interest rate is very, very burden on the developing countries. And next one is trade policies. Trade policies of both LDCs and developed countries also lead to the growth of external debt of LDCs. The LDCs followed the inward oriented import substitution industrialized till 1970. This policy brought initial gains but ultimately led to inefficiencies in the production of manufactured goods. Agriculture and primary production activities were neglected. The two oil price hikes which led to recessions in the developed countries, and the increase in non-tariff restriction by the latter led to the reduction in exports and import reduction in exports and export prices of LDCs. And next is immediate cause is up to 1970, many LDCs had accumulated huge external debts which they found it difficult to repay in the form of interest and principal. This led to the international debt crisis of the 1980s. The crisis emerged in August 1982 when the Mexican Central Bank announced that it had run out of foreign exchange reserves and that it could not pay its foreign debt of 1980. Fearing the Argentina, Brazil, Chile might not follow the Mexico, the lender bank of developed countries started refusing new loans and demand payment of earlier loans from these and other Latin American countries. They spread to African and some East Asian LDCs. By the end of 1986, more than 40 countries were engulfed by debt crisis. Any type of these type of symptoms starts from any corner of the world or any countries from the world, those who are on the debt conditions. It spreads everywhere, and economy is going to suffer a lot. And so that is what happened. They started with Mexican, central bank, and that spreads everywhere, even Africa and some East Asian countries and all. So that is what the basic reasons, immediate cause for the oil crisis. Then we have to find the solutions for that also. Measures to solve the debt crisis. What are the measures the government has taken and how it was worked? This is the thing that we are going to discuss now. There are twin track investment strategy and debt registered by commercial banks. Measures to solve the debt crisis. LDCs have been receiving loans from the official world agencies like the IMF and World Bank. This is always happening from banks and from individual countries on bilateral basis. Therefore, there cannot be any clear-cut solution to their debt repayment problems. It has to be on a piecemeal and case-by-case basis. Further, this need to be reformed by domestic, monetary and physical measures to solve it. So IMF and IBRD are the big brothers for us to borrow the loans. So LDCs, they borrowed from that countries, and some extent they borrowed in from the bilateral countries also. So it is very difficult to get clear-cut solutions for that. So piece by piece, so one country by another country, the case should be taken care of, and thereby the solution should be found out. So we are going to discuss two important strategies here. Twin track IMF strategy. The IMF had feared that many default by LDCs to repay the debt would threaten the stability of the international bank system. In the wake of Mexico's refusal to honor its debt obligation in August 1982, it therefore suggested twin track strategy so that the LDCs could repay their loans in full. So IMF felt it is a little bit difficult task to recover their loans, because at the same time they were looking at Mexico. Mexico straight away said refused to repay the debt. So they could find they thought to find a new ideas. According to this strategy, it would continue to give direct financial assistance. They provide time to grow out of their debt problems. What is the strategy? One end, they are giving even more loans to them and financial assistance, and let them grow, taking that one and come out of the trouble. Second one, to encourage structural adjustment program in them to increase their debt service capacity in the long run. Structural adjustment may be in any respect. So it may be primary to secondary to tertiary, or internal systems adjustments also there, because economy sometimes some areas are going to give more rewards. So in everywhere every way of structural adjustment can be thought of. So they think about that. And next one is debt rescheduling by commercial banks. When Mexico and other Latin American countries express their inability to service their debts, the international commercial banks devised ways to avert the banking crisis. The creditor banks formed a bank advisory committee, that is BAC, known as the London Club, to reschedule debts on a cash-by-cash basis with individual debt countries. So rescheduling, here earlier it was, say for example, 15 years loan, and sometimes it is 10 years loan, like that. But no, it is rescheduled the timing without considering the earlier one. They started rescheduling it, and gave more times to repay the loans and using the loans which they are obtaining. In the beginning 1983, rescheduling of debt service way was for a short period up to 2 years. Now it is for the beginning, the initial state was taken only 2 years. This was called the short-ledged approach, which required repeated rescheduling of debts. So in 1984, multi-year restructuring agreements MIRAS were introduced, which involved rescheduling of debt for a longer period up to 14 years. This is the new thing. So earlier it was only 2 years, but it was not able to come out of the conditions, so it was extended to the 14 years. The strategy of the IMF appeared to be successful throughout 1983, but this forced or involuntary lending by the banks led to overdue payments to the outstanding debts of LDCs. These further weakened the balance sheets of the banks, so they started reducing involuntary lending to the LDCs. This is the another problems that emerged. However, after some times it was because of WTO, some freedoms and some concessions and the bilateral trade and the multilateral trade, and because of different ways, of course, gradually they are coming out of that. So, what are the approaches they took to come out of that? After the two plans, various approaches like Baker Plan, the Brady Plan, debt swaps, Toronto terms, the Houston terms proposed to reschedule the banks, but these have not been very successful because they are dependent upon the private international banks to carry them out. The majority of them are unwilling to take such measures which may adversely affect their balance sheets. These proposals do not solve the debt problems of LDCs permanently, but for short-term period, with the result of that it again reappear. Anyhow, this type of solutions may not give you permanent solutions, but gradually some opportunities are very much needed to the developing countries, and it was given by IMF and IBRD and some developed countries. They were involved in this, and some countries they could able to come out of that problems also, but some countries are still in struggle. It's a long run problems, but borrowing and using the money is must, otherwise development is not possible for the developing countries. With these words, I conclude the international debt crisis. Hope students will understand this, and if you have any problems, you can contact me, and definitely we will discuss about that. I didn't take much time because the time restrictions is also there. From that angle, I haven't taken much time. If you have any doubts, definitely you may contact me and try to understand. Anyhow, definitely I have to mention the name of my students, Hiremet Pakir Swami Hiremet, who helped me to prepare this particular PPT. So thank you him. And please students, we are nearing to the exam, so prepare this with extra care. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you.